What's going on, peeps? What's going on? It's your boy Shades. Back at it again. Let's turn this game down a little bit. Just move the microphone in a little bit more. Apologies. This is a last minute thing. I wasn't sure if I was gonna stream. I wasn't 100%. Parodius, yeah, Parodius. Hey Sonny, how's it going? Yeah, I'm doing good. Hey Twin Towers. It's so weird, like, when I go to play retro games, and then sometimes the retro game just doesn't work. Like, you can see, like, my capture card will sometimes, like, shift the shit slightly to the right. Which is weird because, like, on the main base of this, it looks fine. I don't know why it's moved it. It's very strange. I don't know why it's, like, made the screen, like, slightly to the right. I've got no fucking clue. I might have to look into that, because I swear it doesn't do it with all games. I swear when we played Mario recently, the cropping on my screen here was universal to itself, but I don't know why. Unless I've moved it, and I don't think I've moved it because it's all locked into place, so I've got no clue. I'm just gonna start the game because the game's just gonna keep looping. Hey DeMarcos, how's it going? Yeah, it was a bit of a late stream for me to organize. So it was like a last minute thing. Why is this controller not working? Now the controller, hang on. I think it's not plugged in. Why ain't you plugged in? Let's try that. Come on, you console. What are you doing? I mean, you're working today. Hang on. Why is this now having an issue? The stuff's so early. There we go. Good lord, man. Okay. How am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Had a bit of a busy day, but luckily I finished, and I decided I wanted to play some Famicom games, some of the games I brought back from Japan, and I figured shooters, space shooters today. You know, shooters. We're gonna go with our little squid boy, and I got Parodius. So we want auto power up, shot, missile, bell power, or manual. I mean, the controls don't change though. Let's do easy. Let's do easy today. How's everyone doing? How's your week's been? How have your weeks been? Tell me about your week. I will say the one thing I hate about the little squid, he's a slow boy. Now, if you've never played Parodius, Parodius is kind of a parody of itself. And what I mean by that is Parodius is actually meant to be Gradius, but they decided to make a, like, I guess you would call it a, like, I guess it is just a parody of shooters. Just a silly version. They decided that just to make a silly version of a shooter. And this was the result. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on, like little. I mean, there's little bits. There's so much going on. So been cleaning. Oh, nice. I hope the cleaning's been going well. I know you were saying that you're having a tough time finding a few things, so I hope things are looking up and looking a little bit better. All right, the bell is out of the. Oh, look at that. Daytime, baby. So that is like auto shield. So that's cool. So there's different power-ups depending. I like that. I have only seen this game. I've never fully played it myself. So I figured tonight was the night that I play it. I picked this game up in Japan for... Oh, God. I want to say it was literally like $10. I'm pretty sure it was only 10. I'd have to look at the photo. I have an original photo of like all the prices. This is a $10 game, and like I wasn't originally gonna get it, but I changed my mind on it, particularly because Parodius is kind of a classic. But the other thing too with Parodius that a lot of people don't realize is there's a sexy Parodius. I think I've talked about it on a Dat Shorts before. I might have, like a Dat moment. I might... Oh, I'm trying to think if I have. I feel like I have. I feel like I have talked about... Or maybe we talked about sexy bosses or something like that. But they're again, they did a sexy Parodius, and it was kind of like, you know, if you put more tits in Parodius than you normally would. But this was kind of them, like, taking stuff off the hinges. So they were like, they wanted to make, I guess with Gradius, and then there's Darius as well. I don't know if Darius is part of the same series. But with Gradius, like, Parodius was just them really having a piss take on wanting to come up with something really silly. And I guess making, like, like more of a fun version of these. Also, let me know how the volume is. Let me know if the volume's okay. I know that sometimes the volume can be a bit funny with Famicom. Volume is alright, nice. Do I need to go to the back of the cat? Oh, the cat's sinking. Notice that game lag too. I love games back in the day when they had that premium game lag. When there was too many sprites on the screen. I'm gonna try to beat Parodius tonight. I reckon we could do it. On easy mode, we probably could. So, these kind of shooters too, like the ones that I got introduced to when it came to these, the ones that I grew up with were Fantasy Zone. Particularly on the Sega Master System. I've got Fantasy Zone for the Famicom. I only just found out that they made a Fantasy Zone for the Famicom, like, a couple of years ago. I thought it was a bootleg or something, but it's actually apparently a legit port. Because I thought Fantasy Zone was only a Sega property. I didn't think that there was something that was gonna kind of take that by storm. But I guess Fantasy Zone wasn't. I'm pretty sure it is an arcade game as well. But Fantasy Zone's pretty much the same thing. There's like monsters and shit, and you've got to You gotta shoot a bunch of different things. And just for a reference to everybody at home, I am currently playing this on an actual Famicom with the actual cartridge that I bought. So do not fret. You're like, how is it looking so crusty, Shades? Why does it look so crusty? It's because it's been played on an actual console. I think that's why, like, a lot of streamers, they'll probably, like, they'd be, like, pretty keen to upgrade. I don't know what it is. I just like playing it on the hardware. Yes, I do have struggles sometimes when it comes to the hardware and it working. Do I, you know, do I think about swapping? Yeah, sometimes. And eventually I might have to with, like, I mean, I don't know if I'll be streaming in my old age, but, like, you know, playing games in general, like, definitely be one of those things where I'm going to have to look at emulation. Definitely something. Oh, he's dead. Big boy's dead. The gooey clown head guys. And as you notice, like, with Parodius or, like, these games in general, is they upgrade you all the time. So, like, as long as you keep your shit, you get more and more shit. So we started out with Mr. Slow Squid and a little octopus, and, like, we're now banging. Like, this game is banging. By the way, the music's a bop. Can we all agree that music's a bit of a bop? And see, like, this is how you know it's true old console. The sprites were fucked just then. See, and then you start again. You start with nothing. So now we've got to come back from that, which is going to be hard. But it's all right. We'll work with it. We need to get little octo friends. Just means killing and destroying as much shit as we can. It's because, like, I didn't see the bullets as well. My Windows 95 setup is ready to go, so we'll be doing that. I want to say I'll probably start doing them next week. I was looking at, you know, times and when to do it. It'll probably be around this time. There's a lot. I've installed a lot on the computers. On the computer itself, so it's going to be fun. Come at me, bro. Yes. Uh-oh. Yo! Is that a... That looks like a skeleton. Okay, there we go. Is it a chick or a dude? I can't tell. I think I'm hitting them. Oh shit, it's coming back. It's coming back. I'm gonna have to get under the legs. Shit! Game over. Alright, let's try with a new ship. Let's try with a new ship. I'm gonna let the continues run out. Alright. I'm thinking... So he gets, like, ones that go, and he gets, like, a spit. He's got a triple. And then I think he gets a shield. I'm gonna go regular ship. Let's go regular ship. Auto power up. Yep, we'll do auto. How am I? I'm doing okay. I've managed to finally catch up on my work, which has been really nice. So I've been kind of just, you know, doing things. You know, I was able to film recently, so I put out a bunch of new videos again, which has been really nice. More videos coming. There's a Fun Dogs tomorrow, and then there's more. I shot about 6 yesterday, and I'm planning to shoot more, hopefully in the next few days. So that should be pretty fun. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Oh. Give me that double laser, baby. That blue is so blue. Jesus. Yes. I love the clouds. You know what? Sprite work, like having such simple sprite work for things. I've always loved that sort of stuff, like when sprites have a simplicity to them. And you can clearly tell, like, even clouds, like, just shading a cloud like that. Oh, also, I wanted to say about the Windows streams. When I start doing the Windows streams, if you guys have any recommendations for games that you want to see me play, Windows 95 and 98 and Microsoft DOS, tell me. I'm really into anything. I prefer obscure shit. I probably wouldn't play something like an RPG. But like obscure games, sexy games, whatever. I'm into anything. So do not hesitate to send me your game recommendations, because I would be... Again, I've equipped the computer up with a lot of stuff, which we'll probably uninstall as we go. Because depending on what I think is good and what's not good, depending on, we'll keep it or get rid of it. So, because I installed a bunch, so we were just sort of ready and we didn't have to install a bunch on stream. So, but we'll see. We shall see. There we go. Catboat. Come on, catboat. Come on, catboat. The orb that's following me is really putting me off. There you go, you're done. You're done, catboat. Yes. Look at that. And now we head to Penguin. I love upgrades in this game because they always feel like the upgrades become endless. I felt in like Fantasy Zone upgrades were not as endless as this. But it's something about this game that like, you feel like you stack a lot. It probably doesn't. It probably just gives you that element and that feeling that it's like, it's stacking. But it like, I don't know, you always feel like you get more because you're leveling. And the cool thing is like now I'm not having to like hit the button. Like it literally just does it on its own, which is fucking fantastic. Am I streaming this for TV? Am I streaming this from TV? I am, yes. So, well, So I was saying before, I'm playing this on a legitimate Famicom, as I always do with everything. The emulation of it is going through to the television, obviously. The weird part is, and this is what I was saying before, is that the Famicom seems to crop weird. I don't know why it does that. And I was gonna check later, but I don't know, it just seems to crop weird when it comes to television. And I was wondering if it was just Famicom. It just seemed very strange that it cropped the way that it did, as you can tell. But no, I play all of my games on TV, so this was one I picked up in Japan. Japan. I wanted the blue one. I wanted the blue. Oh. Fucking hell. Dude, this is such a bop, man. Alright, now we're entering the zone. Entering La Zone. We start seeing them clown head guys again. He's out. Because it makes some smooth effects around the pixels with interlacing, something you don't see from a PC monitor or a new TV. Oh, do you mean like it looks more authentic? Is that what you're saying? Because yeah, that's why I do it. Like that, I do it because I feel like I'm playing it like the legitimate way. I know a lot of people want to play games like and have that pure experience that, you know, obviously a lot of us really craved. You know, we crave to have the game not flicker, and obviously later ports, but there's a part of me that likes playing it in this format. Like, I like playing it like this. I don't mind. Yes, and not from an emulator. Yeah, no, I pretty much on stream state when I'm playing like not on emulator, or when I'm on emulator. But I haven't done emulation for years. Like, it has just not been in my lexicon to do it. Like, we did it with Fun Dogs when we first started. But then I was like, I own so many games. Like, I could just do it, like, legitimately. And it just feels like, I don't know, I get like a level of satisfaction I normally wouldn't get. I know it sounds weird for some people because it's easy to emulate, and you wouldn't get the like artifacting like that's happening right now. But again, I enjoy it. There's just something silly about it. Play old school way. It's a blast from the past. Yeah, and I do too. And that's why I like doing it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to eventually set up some emulation stuff for when my console stuff does die. But there's something about always playing this shit legitimately that I really love. And eventually I will have to upscale eventually. So you gotta wait for this bitch to move in so you can like get under the legs. Come on. Also, I love using lag to fuck with a game like that, where you can slow a game down just a few frames and smoothing like an on TV. All the filters. Yeah, they look fake. They look fake. That's why I like doing it like this. The other thing too is I don't upscale, which I've seen a lot of speedrunners do. My stream setup, I use one of the oldest Elgatos because it has the AV-RF connectors. So my stream setup, a lot of people have told me they get really annoyed with me because they're like, why is not all of your HDMI shit going through HDMI? And the reason is because I want to capture the crustiness. It's like when you watch a VHS. Like, don't get me wrong, you can put the fake filter over it, like that, you know, but this, like, that fake, the artifacting that's happening on the screen right now, it's very hard to emulate that. And yeah, there's something I just really like about it. There's just something, I don't know, it's silly. It's a silly thing. It's why I love playing old games in general. You know, and I love playing them the way they are. But yeah, I get a lot of people come around and they're like, and it's really funny because the Elgato is running into the PC, right? And the way the Elgato runs in, there's a USB, so it's not being upscaled by the HDMI, but there's also a HDMI that upscales. I can run this through a HDMI upscaler. If I swap to the HDMI variant, it will upscale this, but all it does is stretch it and make it look more blurry and shit. So because I'm running off I think I showed it in my house tour, but in the games room tour, but they run through the RF cables because I prefer that artifacting a lot more. It's just generally like good, and that's why I get a bit worried about TVs too, because a lot of TVs don't have those plugs anymore, and we're getting to that point where they're gonna just stop having those plugs, which sucks. But you know, we don't need those. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Obviously, like the other thing I said before, the emulator. I don't know why the Famicom decides to shift the shit to the right on the screen up there. It's really fucking irritating because on my screen it's center. I was gonna try something after this game. I'm gonna try do something different just to see if it is that, because it is strange. I don't know why it's shifting to the right slightly. With 3D TVs, home when they stop working, it's over. I won't get a new one. Yeah, and I'm like, it's why I've got a CRT in the corner of the room, because even playing it on that, it's so weird how old CRTs are so much more crisper. I don't get it. They're really crispy, like the quality's and I guess because it's running literally off a fucking light globe, like there's just something crispy about that shit that just works so well. And I love it. I love it so much. So sometimes I play it looking to the left. I rarely do it on stream, but sometimes I will. I'll look to the left monitor. So I can technically see the game in 3 spots if I really wanted to. I've got it rigged up so it's like that. I'll probably do a new room tour soon, because I know a lot of people were kind of asking like what's changed, and a lot of stuff has changed because I did get a lot of new games, and I recently moved stuff around in here because we got rid of a couch, and we got rid of like the couch that we had in the lounge room. We've moved into the games room now, and we did that because my partner has moved her office in there, and so like there was room to do that. So, and yeah, 3D TVs were like, this as soon as they came out, I knew it was going to be one of those quick fad things. I'm surprised that Blu-rays lasted as long as they did, but Blu-rays are still quite big. I've noticed that Blu-rays are quite like still a huge thing. And I think when we do the DAT game shit, we'll probably end up doing Blu-ray now. I wasn't going to, but I put a census. It seems like a lot of people would prefer it to be on Blu-ray. So I'm kind of thinking that might be the direction we go in for DAT game's next iteration. There we go. Dead chicken. Can you do that? It'd be awesome. Yeah, I've got a burner to do it, and I've got the discs to do it, so. Yeah, I've got the software. It's not impossible. It's just I'm gonna have to reprogram a lot of stuff I've already started working on for them, so. The other issue is going to be is that people are probably going to expect me to like remaster a lot of episodes. I'm not going to do that. I'm not as like, I'd say I'm pretty organized like Angry Video Game Nerd, but not in the same variant where I'd be able to like literally open a project file and re-export it as a HD video. Some of the videos are just going to have to be shitty. So it's just going to have to be that. It's going to be, the DVDs are going to be more like, some will be HD. It'll be mostly uncensored and lost shit. If anything. Look at this moon. Look at this chat of a moon. Holy shit. That's a Chad. Can't even tell what's like collectible anymore. Holy shit. There is so much going on. See that the will is having problems. Okay, oh, the Wi-Fi? I thought you said the will. I was like, what the fuck's the will? Please message me. We'll have a chat soon, DeMarcos. Everything has a team now to deal with. Yeah. Well, I know he's recently upgraded all of his shit to HDMI. And I know that I saw recently, like, it kind of made me a bit sad but I understand James's plight because I was thinking about it recently too. His latest room tour, he's got everything upscaled. He never used to do that. He used to just run all the shit through the old shit. But I notice now he upscales with a HDMI upscaler. Which I thought was a bit strange. I could see why, and he doesn't obviously do the same recording as he would before. Like, he's upgraded, but then also made it that he doesn't need to use every console. Which made me feel a bit weird about it, because I know that sometimes for episodes he uses emulators. He rarely has to, but I feel like he does more nowadays, purely because I think it's time, it's better for time. It's definitely better for time. Oh shit, look at this. Uh-oh. This is a wild level. Look at this shit. So yeah, like I said with these games, particularly this game, is like, as long as you stay alive, you'll keep all of your upgrades. And the upgrades just continue to stack, which becomes a fucking mess on the screen. Especially when the Famicom is trying so hard to like put so many sprites on the screen. The reason why you see them flickering is because it can't handle that many sprites. And see, I got hit and I don't even know what fucking hit me. So that was that first life I think we just lost. So now we're back to like zero upgrades now, which is gonna be, it's gonna be annoying as fuck. Because now I have to like, I've got like one upgrade. So we can just hope. Okay, so we got double. So this game can be super hard or super easy based on how well you play. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The game does get more chaotic as well. Like, really stupidly I mean, it's kind of like the equivalent of a bullet hell, I guess you would say, as well. But, yeah, there is, like... Yeah, it depends. If you can hold out and you can keep the items that you've got, yeah, you can really have a good run. I've seen people play this where they've gotten really far. And so yeah, it's mainly just about picking up the little items. The English version of this game is ridiculously expensive. The Japanese version is literally only $10. So get the Japanese version because it's the shit. It doesn't need to be in English. You can just play it. It's like a circus submarine. I see these windows. I assume those are windows in the background too. Music slaps too. Oh, see, I didn't know that was... Oh, I see, because that's a loop. That's a loop. Oh, I see. No wonder okay. Can we... If I... Will that start me at that level? That's the question, will it? Fuck yeah, okay. Oh, I hit the thing. Sometimes, and I will say, sometimes with this game, it's hard to tell what's an object. Obviously, like, you know, you can kind of tell, but like even the water, like you would assume the water's an object. It's not. Oh shit. I'm just gonna die. So, oh no, because I don't know if I got unlimited continues, so I shouldn't. Okay, so I got the double hit. That's alright. Still can't baffle it. Well, because it's random. And that's the thing. So, like, the thing about the process of this is the reason why it's happening is because the system is overloaded. So a lot of what you're seeing, like, especially the shit to the left, you know how, like, when the sprites are going off to the left? What does the Konami code do in this game? I got no idea. I never thought of that. The Konami code's pretty universal, right? The Konami code can work pretty much in, like, most of the Konami games. Like all the classic shit, right? Can someone look that up? Fuck. Yeah, can someone look that up for me? I don't know how many continues you get. I think you get unlimited. You must do. Which is amazing, because you keep doing shit like that. Come on. Oh. The other thing too, and like, this is something that you can do, is like, because the speed is like, you can adjust the speed and like abuse the system a little bit. Slowing down the game by putting more sprites on the screen helps you. As you notice, there's shit flying around, and then like as there's less, the bullets are going faster. Put it in when the game's paused. Will it? Okay, before I put it in, is it gonna ruin the game? Like, is it gonna ruin this run? That's all I want to know before I put it in. It should give you all weapons. Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's do it. Up, down, down. Left, right, BA, start. Did I do it wrong? Up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. Up, down, down, left, right, BA. Up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. It's not, I'm not getting anything. Oh god, oh god. Up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. I hate that bit. Is it AB, AB? I thought, hang on, let me Google it. It's BA, isn't it? It's up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. You say A, you've added an extra AB. Hey, let me see. Little Big Planet, Metal Gear, Tetris. Is it different? Because that's the thing. It might be different. Up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. Up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. So you've put... Wait, you've put up, down, down, left, right. Up, down, down, left, right. A, B, A, B. Up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. Up, down, down, left, right. Wait. Up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. It's not working for me though, so why is it not working? Am I doing something wrong? That doesn't look like the Konami code though. It's like a variant of the Konami code. Oh god, I'm going into a boss with this. Oh god. the fuck? Oh my god, you start way back there. Up, up, down, down, left, left, right, right, A, B, A, B. Up, up, down, down, left, left, right, right, A, B, A, B. Nah. Nope, don't work for me. Oh shit. Wow. I'm gonna try this bugger. Just to say, but yeah, I don't know why the code's not working. Maybe there is a reason. Maybe there's like a thing we're missing. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. I didn't even touch that one. Yeah, fuck off with your shit. I hit the green thing again. I hit the fucking green thing again. Just gonna hit. I'm just gonna, cause I'm gonna get game over. God damn. Alright, let's try penguin. Penguin. See what penguin does. Penguin drops penguin candy. Let's see if his upgrades are any better. Oh god. Oh god. I almost felt luckier with the spaceship, dude. Oh, fuck. Candy. Like, I feel like you're meant to go in there. Fuck. I feel like you were meant to go in there maybe, but like... I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I meet the Easter Island head guy. Oh god. What do you peeps got planned for the weekend? I've got a bachelor party to go to tomorrow. So that's definitely on my cards for like, holy shit, I don't know if I'm ready for a bachelor party. Not for me, of course, for a friend. But, just, I'm not like, mentally, I'm not there yet. Yeah, I'm not 100% mentally there. I was kind of thinking about it today, and I was like, God damn, like... Catch up with animation. Make sure you take some time off, too, though. No stripper jumping out the cake. No, it's a very tame one. It's a very tame Bucks night. It was kind of, I would say last minute, Like, I know that the Bucks was meant to be... I don't know if they were going to do it. I'm not going to say too much about the people that are getting married, but, like, I feel like they didn't really organize everything as quickly as I thought they were going to. So, like, when the Bucks stuff came up, I'm a person, as I got older, I feel like I need way more notice than I normally do because of my social anxiety and shit. And even then, like, having a lot of, like, I need more than a like 2 weeks notice for something like that. I genuinely do. So I'm very, like, instantly switched off with, like, I was like, fuck, like, you know, because I mean, I work a lot. Like, I'm constantly working on games. So for me, I'm like, I'm busy. I know that's not an excuse, but what I mean by that is, like, my scheduling isn't as good as it used to be. So I think I discussed this last time, because I've had to hire a bunch of people. Like, obviously one of the people I hired was Bariko, because Bariko's a great animator and coder. But I've also had to hire a number of other people. One of them being my assistant, Shady. Then I've hired Haraluna as our, like, audio director and editor for audio. And then I've hired Susie, who's our marketing and like, she's like an assistant director. And then we've got Ule, who does all of our social media. I had to hire those people because, like, it just got to a point where I was still doing all that shit on my own. I'm Breezy, and Breezy does all the pays. So yeah, it was very, very hard for me to give up that sort of shit. But I still have to do it. So I still have to give up one thing. So this last week, I got rid of streaming for a week to film. This week, I'm giving up writing to stream. So sometimes I have to give up something. Not all the time, but sometimes I do to fit something in. It's a lot of people. It is a lot of people. But we're at that stage now where we can afford to do it, which is good. I just hope that it stays that way. We just need to manage money and manage things well. I'm hoping we can continue to make things viable and make things something like Game Boy. Oh, okay. You know, like, if we can continue with our team, and that's, like, the only reason we're able to do that is sorry, I keep stopping because I got itchy ear. Because we're publishing. If I was just a developer, I wouldn't be able to hire all these people. And then the other thing too is we wouldn't be able to grow if we didn't have people, thus not having games. It's kind of like a cycle. The more games we get, the more people we have to hire, because then more money comes in, and then you've got to invest in other things. So, like, this week particularly, I know this is going to be the most boring thing I talk about. I haven't announced this yet, but because Susie's going into our marketing, like, Ule's been doing a lot of social media management, basically. But Susie's doing our marketing, and so she's going into how to grow our games. And so right now, we were on the phone on Wednesday because I said the biggest thing I know that developers want is growth, but also not to feel scammed when it comes to growth, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that will go to, like, websites where, or, like, you know, they'll give out keys to people and they never get reviews. And so we've been talking to, like, an advertisement agency to basically get the correct amount of advertising and coverage. And because Susie is kind of versed in marketing and advertising. This is like right up her alley, and so like we wanted to like that's kind of what we're going to be announcing to a lot of the third party devs next week, which I'm really excited about because we've basically gone into what is essentially going to be like this. Where am I supposed to go, bro? What do you want me to do there? What the fuck? Yeah, so basically it's an advertisement agency. So like she had a meeting today with a consultant who's basically giving us the advice that we need. And then we've been talking to... We basically signed up with a website that can help us with like managing things. So the idea that we're doing is we want to basically start distributing our games in a space where actual big press will get it. So in order for us to do that, we need to pay money. Because in order for bigger streamers and bigger gameplay people to play it, we need to buy the rights to do that sort of shit. Thus, it's an investment. So, Susie's kind of looking into that at the moment. I've employed some amazing people. Like, it's really interesting because, like, Ule was really happy to do... And hers was kind of based on a deal that's with Twin Tails where, like, I hired her as a return junket. So I was like, if you take over my social media, I will go halves with you on a project that I wrote that Twin Tails can code. And so that's where we kind of met in the middle for doing social media. So she does the social media shit in exchange for like my design work and paying for some of the production. Will they be doing appraisals of the game? So some of it, like there's different packages. Like they've kind of gone through it with us. Like a lot of the advertisement shit is gonna be like it'll be like pre, post, and like during advertisement. It's all different. When like Susie was explaining it to me yesterday, because I basically gave her the keys to a website. I had a login to an advertisement agency thing that I've been using for a long time, but I hadn't been utilizing it as well as I probably could have. And when I gave it to her, it was like a Pandora's box thing. Like she knew exactly what to do with it. She's like, I know where to spend money. I know what we need to do. She's like, and basically we're gonna be able to give developers charts now. So we're going to like, when we do feedback for developers, we're going to be able to show them growth. So like we wanted to be able to like show devs like how it works. Like we want to show you, like I think it's bullshit when publishers don't want to show you like graphs or charts, or when you ask for shit, they're like, oh, I can't show that. Nah, fucking show them. Like show that shit, bro. You got to be as transparent as possible, you know? And so I want to show like where growth and articles come from. So I'm kind of leaning into how we do that. Hey, Shadow. So yeah, I've been leaning into that and how we do it. Okay, so I've just got to stay in here. And that should be easy with fried. Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing, like, as we've grown, it's been hard because there's no real manual. Like, there's a lot of people that'll post, like, guides on Twitter. They're like, this is how you start as a game dev. But the thing they don't explain is the algorithm changes a lot. And the advice that I received from other publishers and developers when I first started out is so different now. Like, there's so many things that have changed, and some of it is self-taught. And I also think, and I know this sounds really bad, but I know like a lot of publishers probably wouldn't want to show mistakes, and they don't want to show like, oh, like they don't look very professional because they're still setting up their shit. I kind of want to show that process because I want to show that we're growing. I want to show the growth. I don't just want to go to someone and be like, look at us with all our big numbers and shit. I want to show that we're small and that we can get a little bit bigger. So yeah, long story short, we're looking at an advertising program, and we'll be telling all the devs, including yourself, Twin Tails. So that'll be something that we'll be discussing over the next couple of weeks. We've just got to start budgeting for it, and that's kind of where, because the other thing too that I discovered, and it's funny, isn't it? Like when you think about taxes and like how countries work. But the bullshit thing is, because you obviously, if you're earning too much money, if you earn too much money, the government gets mad. So you have to spend more. I've never heard of the term, and until I watched the Dilbert TV show, was when they said, we need to spend money faster. And that, to me, is so weird to say. I get it now. It took me forever. It took me forever to understand it. But spending money is vital. Because if you just earn money and you sit on it, it's like, again, it's so weird. So you have to, like, spend it. So you got to save it. And then it's kind of this fine line that you sort of, like, roll into where, like, you've got money. And so, like, I always try to make sure that I've got a bit of money tucked away for, like, developers and stuff. But then any additional money that comes in, we got to spend it. And so it's like the government, if the government finds out that you're spending, like, if you earn, and I'll be pretty transparent with this. So, like, the first year, I won't say the exact number, but when we were doing our tax last year, and this is the first year of tax for Shady Corner where I owed the government. I've never owed the government since I started EVM, since I started Shady Corner. Like, it's always been underneath. So, like, for us to come in owing the government tax money was weird to me. And the number that I had to pay, I'll say this. The number I had to pay from Shady Corner was a 5-figure number. And that is weird for me to say, but it was 5 figures worth of tax money. My tax agent has taught me how to put money away for tax. So that way, when I get to tax time, I always have the money. And that's why, like, you know when you see movies where, like, they're like, the guys don't pay their tax and their tax blows out? It's because they should have done their tax. Because if you don't, eventually when they audit you and they find out that you've not been paying it, you should have been working it out in advance and putting that money away. And yeah, so yeah, it was 5 figures in my currency for the first year of tax, yeah. And it was like, I'll say this, it was very daunting because I'm not one for, I'm not, like, and I hate talking about money in general, but I'm not rich by any means. So, like, that kind of money is like, and luckily, because my tax agent had taught me, she was like, every month, put away this amount of money. Like, okay. And so, like, Breezy would work it out. So Breezy would work out, like, oh, this is the amount of money that you got to put away each month. And it changes, obviously, depending on how much you earn. So then by the time you get to the tax month and you get the bill, you have the money. And it's fucking wacky as fuck. But I guess that's how an economy works, because that's how we pay for roads and pay for other shit, because it's tax. We're paying to make Australia be lit. And I don't mean lit as in cool. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's weird. But, yeah. Yeah, you mean you're discussing a plan specifically tailored to each other? Yeah. So like the one that we're doing with you, Twin Tails, is obviously one type, but we're looking at how we're going to go forward. So Susie is currently like she's literally like pulled apart everything last night and she's working on plans. But we're going to start with 3 games and we're going to test them first. So we're going to try one that's already launched, we're going to try one that's going to launch, and we're going to try one that has not launched yet. And then we're going to do strategies with each of them, and then we're going to graph them. And then over the course of a month, we're going to see what happens. And then after that, what we're going to do is take that data and apply it to the other games. So we'll be like, all right, so we'll invest a bit here, we'll put a bit in this one, we'll put in a bit in this one. And then the idea is that we want to try our best to manipulate viewership in a way that is more beneficial, rather than, because the hardest part and the biggest part that's hard for us is it's not safe for work content. So I think we need to pay our way a little bit more, and obviously using big reach posting like stuff on Twitter. Don't get me wrong, it works, like doing artwork and stuff, but we also need to get within the press, and we need to obviously get more verified people. And so this is the kind of, and I'm pretty excited about it. Like even when Susie was kind of explaining to me what we could do, I was pretty excited at the prospect of like, okay, we could, like, this is genuinely something that we could do that's gonna obviously you know, impact Shady. Like she's confident as fuck. Like she's like, oh, there's no way this won't be, like, there's no way this will be bad. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, no, like anything we do here, like we can just adjust it as we go. So it's not going to be anything that's going to, like hurt. Like we would just adjust and then graphs and you'll see the results. And, so that's what we're looking into at the moment. Fucking Flight of the Bumblebee? Bro. Fuck. No. Well, I mean, for some people it just works because you know how like when somebody becomes an overnight success and they just post a game and then randomly it just takes like like you could have fucking Markiplier play it and then it just becomes an overnight success. It's one of those situations where like some people just have it. Part of the reason why I mentioned patches is the time and the pros and cons. Well, and the main reason I say it too is because, what do you call it? Steam's very particular about patching. And so, like, don't get me wrong, I think it could work, but I also think it could, like, be detrimental in a way. Like, I think there's damage that can be done with patching too. Over time, they've been more stricter because, so here's the long short of it, and this is something that they won't tell you. But it's obvious when I say it. Like when I say this bit of information, it's obvious, right? And this isn't me trying to be like a marketing guru. This is just like, this is the common sense shit that I learned, right? Steam doesn't want anybody to leave the website. That's the truth. They don't want people to leave. So the patching aspect isn't to do it. It's a small aspect when it comes to the rating system, because obviously when you submit a game, you submit it as like safe for work, and then you get a patch that makes it not safe for work. Steam, like they get a bit pissy about that sort of stuff, but that's not really the main reason. Steam hates the concept of you leaving. So it's like when you click something. When you build a website or when you have menus and stuff, they say that like an ad on a front page will get more clicks than something 3 pages in, because the retention rate of somebody is they're not going to click 5 times in order to get something. Like, it's like it has to be front and center. And the other thing too is that if you put something there that requires them to go off site, people get turned off by that shit, but they'll also will go if it is something tempting enough. And Steam doesn't want you to do that, because if you're like, it's like if you were scrolling, if you're walking through a shopping center, and then randomly, as you were walking through a shopping center, a door just appears and you start walking into another shop. They don't want you to do that. Like, that's not how it works. It's why, like, shelving is built a certain way and why you walk into a shop. So, like, Steam wants you to stay on the site. They don't want you to go to an external website. It's why, like, when you go to a game page, you're not allowed to have links in the description anymore. They took all those out. They took links to... So you can have websites, but they have to be in the bios. You can't do ad rolls in games anymore. There's certain things... They basically, the less of them you leaving... and the patching mechanic, I think, is a perfect example of that. Because once you gain a patch off stream, it's like you've left. Like, you've left the site. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to have to minimize Steam. The longer retention you've got in Steam, the better for them. So they're... and it's like with the summer sales and all of that other shit, they need you to stay there. That needs to stay there. So... No, you can't even have a Patreon link, because they call that... So the term they call that on Steam is called a call to action, which they say is like, you're asking for donations. Now, there is obviously a law to that, where if you ask for donations off a website, they're kind of responsible in a way, because obviously there's a tax thing. But the main thing is they don't want you to fucking leave. They want you to spend the money on Steam. Which is so silly, because it doesn't support the creators at all. It's why itch.io is more successful in the indie sphere, because there's a lot more support when it comes to that stuff. Like, when you go to Steam, Steam's kind of like the big time. But itch.io is kind of like, if you want the support of the general public, itch.io is the place to go for the smaller stuff. Streamers don't want to play not safe work, kind of sucks. Well, again, it kind of depends on what the game is. Markiplier did play Orc Massage, but you already said your piece on that as well. Well, yeah, but the other reason, like, for them to play it, you don't just get the keys to their fucking thing. There's a lot of hurdles that you have to go over, like, to get that shit in the game, like, to get them to play it. I really do think that the moon lined up, because that when Orc Massage dropped, that shit was all over Steam's front page. They got the algorithm really right with that one. He manipulated it in a way that was really good. And I say manipulated because I do know the publisher. He's very good at manipulating the algorithm constantly. He thinks he's an expert, though. I will say this. I think he's okay at manipulating it. I think he talks a bigger game than he does. But I genuinely think he did a good job with that. Sucks too. I have to mod to the Steam version. Mod the Steam version. Why do you have to mod it? Like, what do you mean? But yeah, it's why, like, yeah, it's a strange situation to move the Patreon link. Yeah. Now, the other way you can get around it, do you want to know the other way you can get around it? Is you can actually just have a website link. So the things you can't do, right? So like so call to action is like donation links. That's what they call it. Like visit external website. you can have a website. So like shadycorner.com. You can do that. That's fine. But if someone clicks shadycorner.com and there's a like donate button on the front page, you can't do it. So that's how they get around it. So you can add extra steps, but again, it doesn't help. Like, that's another thing I was thinking of doing with our website as well, is I wanted to add Patreon links to everybody, just so their games can be supported, and then that way they can. I mean, I don't know how much more it's gonna help people, but I thought it might. Wow. Focusing on those planes up there. Fucking hell. Sorry, I had like itch. Oh no! Can I say the trip to there? From there to the thing? Should be inclined. No, please wait before you do that, Twin Tails, because we're trying to work through it together. So don't yet. Where it's like literally early days. We were discussing it Wednesday, so like your game is in the queue. We just need to kind of work everything out to kind of like, work out what we're gonna do next. So we'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know it's really exciting, but you know, just you keep doing what you're doing, which is working on your game. Our job will be to work out exactly what we're gonna do. But the idea for this first lot is to work out the first 3 as test subjects to see, you know, what strategies work where, and that's our thing. That was like, I spent so long on that boss. Am I like? Let me just look that up. Is he just like impossible to kill or something? Parodius. I've got the SNES version of this too. This game's only been an hour. I've spent a long time on this. I think the other one literally is just called Super Parodius, so let me see. So, I'm just meant to hit the dude in the head. Am I meant to drop the bombs in the mouth when it opens? Maybe. I'm just looking. Maybe if I do this one. Why would you fan translate? It's the same game. Oh no, this one's slightly different. That's a different one again. There's a couple of versions of this game. It's very interesting. Okay, so this is the one I got. Okay. He just sits there and he shoots him. Wow. I felt like I was shooting that dude forever. There's a couple versions of this game. I'm kind of like strange. Oh fuck. All right, chat. Do you want me to keep going with this one, or would you like another shooter? Because I do have 2 more that I've got lined up as well. I figured we could try a few tonight. It's very strange. So the Parodius SNES. That might be another one. But I do have a few. I do have a few. Let me go. You know what? If I have time, I'll do Parodius SNES as a bonus. That'll be the bonus. So I've got 2 more. Next up. Skykid. I don't know if you guys have ever played Skykid. This game came out 2 years before I was fucking born. This game's great. I love this game. Now, if you notice, the game cropped better on this one. Let me just change the ticker really quick. You want to play Sexy Parodius. Sexy Parodius is the good one, in my opinion. If I can get a copy of that, I'll play it. Alright, let's do a bit of... So we'll do 2 more, and then if I feel like it, we'll do a bonus. And the bonus will be Super Parodius. Let me just change the this to Skykid. There we go. Skykid. What a goofy game. Alright. So, Skykid is you do little missions. So this one's mission 1, bomb the target. Okay? So, the cool thing is you've got this little woo, right? And the way you shoot is by moving up and down. So you can't really shoot. So you can shoot on 3 angles. You can shoot up like this, then down, and straight ahead. Now, when this is bomb the target, right? The concept is that the coming up is this. All right, we got it. So now we have to take the bomb and we've got to drop the bomb on this guy. We kind of half did it, and then there's the dancing chicks. And yes, it's 2-player. In my opinion, very fun game. Difficult though, because you got to get past them bullets. Plus the music's a fucking hoot. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ra-ta-ta-ra. Hey! We did it! Bomb the target, baby. Woo! Oh shit. The tanks are out in full force. Whoa! Whoa! It's quick. They put me out. That was quick. I love the music though. The music's great. It's such a cute little game. It's such a simple little game too. And I love the fact that you don't start with the bomb. You have to pick the bomb up. Fuck. So, you know, the bomb is just like your little like halfway. So it kind of gives you like a little extra mission. Woo! Woo! Alright. My goal with this, level 3. If we can get level 3, I'll be happy. Dun, 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 ra-ta-ta-ra-ta-ta. Oh! It's terrible at this game. I played a different game instead. It was on a bootleg. This is definitely a bootleg cartridge tie-in game, for sure. Skykid was one of those games I saw on a lot of bootleg cartridges. You know what's funny? Those cartridges were pretty good sometimes because you would learn about games you'd never learnt about. Fuck. You'd learn about games that you never learn about. And that's what it was all about. Sometimes you had to get some shitty game from a local market. From some lady that was selling oranges and windshield wiper fluid. And then she'd have a bunch of games. And she'd be like, this a game are good. This a game. This game. It got all the game. It got the Mario. It's got the blue one, the blue Mario. It's got the green one. $20. $20. That's 1,000 games. Turns out the first 20 games, and then they just loop after 20. I always hated that as a kid. Like, what a con. Contain no popular games except for Super Mario. But remember when they had ones that had like actual bootleg, where like they would make a fake one, like they would make a Sonic game, like Samara the Adventurer and shit like that. Fuck, where they would make they'd make their own games and shit. That's why I always loved when they changed the sprites. I always thought it was such a cool idea. I want an original copy of Samari. I don't have it. There's a guy that's got one in Africa, and he's selling it for like $5, and it's really funny. I saw it, and it's an original copy. Then I was like, what if I bring in COVID? And then I was like, is that racist for me to say? I don't know. I just know that they're pretty bad with COVID over there. So I didn't want to kind of risk it. Can you kill the ladies? Yes, you can. I turned the ladies into cats, money cats. Hey, spaghetti. Let's go. Oh no! I almost recovered. I almost recovered. Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. This music is so chirpy. I've also got a bunch of bootleg games. Like, I've got one that I found out recently was quite popular. It's Mario in Jurassic Park Land or some shit. You play Sonic instead of Mario and the... So yeah, so you've got a... That's cool. I like that. Yeah, I want to get original bootlegs. Trying to find those original ones. They're so expensive now. Like, you have to get reprints. I got a reprint recently of Kart Fighter, which is the Super Mario Kart fighting game. I got a reprint for like $10. No, it wasn't 10. It was about 10. I think it was about 10. There we go. Hey, spaghetti. Let's go. Lucky. Oh, that poor sun. What's happening with the sun, bro? You only a reskin. Yeah. Oh. We're out to sea, boys. There's the bomb. Got him. Yeah! Woo! Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is about this game. Skykid's really cute to me. I don't know what it is. It's just a cute game. It's simple. I love the concept. I think the concept's really fun. Like, yeah, it's not like, the game's not asking for you. This is why I like old games too. But this game has such charm to it. And look, don't get me wrong. Like, the graphics are fucking simple. Like, we just came from Parodius, which Parodius had some pretty, like, good-looking graphics. This game is pretty simple, but I think, like, it comes across really well. So, yeah, I've always liked Skykid. I like when you play with a second player and you've got a blue plane, when you've got Max behind. It's apparently Baron and Max. And so, yeah, it's really cool when you're playing with two players. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, I missed the target. It's alright, we'll get the 3 cat ladies. Only the most simple games. I get it. kid, but never knew other Mario games. Yeah, it's... As a kid, I didn't for a lot of games, too. Yeah! That was some flying skills, bro. So, to explain, this game has one button for shoot and the other one to do, I guess you would assume it's a barrel roll. Which is kind of imperative to use. To get behind people. Basically just to get behind the players. You can't do it when you've got a bomb though, which sucks. The other thing too is if you want to recover from falling, you just tap the buttons really fast. Luckily this gives me a checkpoint with this one, so this one's a little bit longer. There we go, right in the center, baby. Yeah, 3 cat bitches. Oh, also, peeps, if you've not watched my latest video, I turned my PlayStation into a sex toy and jammed it up my cooter. So go check that out on the YouTube channel. That was a fun one to write. I've been wanting to write that one for a long time. Because I genuinely thought that when I first found that option in the game. I was like, wow. Finally, Shady. Hey, Catfish, how's it going? I don't know if it's still too early for spoilers. For what spoilers? What are you spoiling? Oh no, you can ask me that. I liked it a lot. I think it's probably the best one out of all the Sonic movies. But then again, like each Sonic movie kind of sits as its own thing. So, yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. The Sonic 3 movie is an amazing film. I've watched it the most out of all of them. You're iffy about number 4. I mean, I was kind of iffy about number 3. So it's like, I don't know. Did I actually do it? No. So, like, the actual experience I had when I was a kid was I found the buzzing. And then I was like, because I had it on my crotch at the time. And I was like, ooh, like. And then that was kind of the memory that locked into my brain. I shaded it up, obviously, to kind of, like, give it the flair of like jamming it up my butthole, like obviously, but the memory that was there that I remember specifically seeing that button in the menu and thinking to myself, like, why would they have that in there? Like, and then because like I was already pretty active teen, I was like, man, like, it's just a fucking vibrator, bro. And so yeah, it kind of like recently like I felt like talking about it because it was kind of like one of those memories that kind of unlocked in my head, and I was like, yeah, I remember that shit. We never found time. Okay, I won't spoil anything. I won't spoil anything for you, Bariko. I will say that yeah, I highly enjoyed it. Probably my favorite. There's obviously bits of like I've discussed this with 2. There was bits of 2. I think there's bits of 3 I didn't like, but then again, like I watched it again recently, and I was like, oh, it's I like it. Like I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I've got no qualms with the movie. As a Sonic fan, I'm just happy to get content. I don't want anything to like. I'm pretty content, even if it's bad. Like I watched again, Knuckles. I enjoyed it again, but the last 2 episodes are very grating. The rest of Knuckles is great. It's just those last two, I think, were a little bit pushy. Yeah. Yeah, if you like Shady, yeah. And Gerald is a hoot, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do with 4. You know what's funny though? I know that a lot of people are obviously watching with bated breath because they want the series to fail, and YouTube will fill up to the nines with like how Sonic fell. Like, I'm just happy again to get films. This film was clearly um from the height. Did I see Knuckles from the blue? No, I watched Knuckles initially uh, when it came out. But I did watch the Blu-ray that you did get me when I rewatched it again. But if you meant the first time I watched it, no. The first time I watched it was when it first came out, and I had a friend over. And him and we basically saved the time to watch it together. And we were like, no, we're going to watch it. And then, yeah, I got the Blu-ray you sent to me. I've got a DVD version now of Knuckles. Because I like having DVD variants. Because sometimes the DVD variants, they have different features. Though I've noticed with Sonic, so far with all the Sonic movies, the DVDs and Blu-rays have been exactly the same. Normally with movies, they add something different to each one. But it seems pretty similar across the board. And I ordered the Sonic 3 DVD and Blu-ray, but that doesn't come out till April. So that's on back order. I pre-ordered that shit like months ago. So I'm pretty excited to get that. But yeah, I mean, without obviously spoiling too much of the movie for Bariko, I enjoyed it. If I had to rank what I think, where the movies sit, the Knuckles series is my least favorite. Sonic 2, then Sonic 3 and 1 are tied. The reason why Sonic 2 is sitting where it is, because my... And don't make me think like that's a bad thing the way I've said it. Because people will take that out of context and be like, well, Shade thought Sonic 2 is shit. It's not. The one thing, and I've said this before, it's like, just edit out the wedding shit. Not the whole wedding shit. Just the Bridezilla shit where she gets in the golf cart and shit. We don't need to see that. It's added padding. Sonic 3 really proved that less humans actually helped, and they could still drive the thing home with humans. I think Sonic 2, they really tried to cram too many humans into it, and it was like this balancing act of like, fuck, like we've got all these people, but we don't know what to do with them. You don't need to do all that. Like, they could have explained Gun without having the extra wedding shit. But, I think the third film did a really good job of balancing those things. A lot better than the second one. The first one's a road trip movie. I still love the first one. Like, I love popping that one on. The second one, again, I love it. It's just that wedding thing. That's the only bit that takes me out of the whole bit, is the second part of that wedding shit. But even, and this is, I'll say this because I said this the other night, is Sonic 3, the humans actually have a really good purpose. I won't spoil it too much. What I will say is that there is a scene, obviously, where Sonic has to tend to a human, and then Shadow relates to that person in the same way that he does with Maria. And I liked that because it gave the humans something to do. not in a bad sense, but it gave the stakes of like, because like by the second film, they're his parents, right? But I don't really remember, like, they're kind of like his parents, but it's kind of like, you don't feel like they're going to get hurt. Like, you feel like the parents are invincible. And they're just sort of props. But in the third movie, even though they were definitely backseated a lot more, there is some scenes in there where I was like, no, like, they feel like you could take something away and it would actually hurt. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying not to spoil it for Bariko. But basically what I'm saying is, like, I feel like, yeah. Yes, Sonic 3 has a really good moral. I don't think Sonic 2 really has a moral. Sonic 1 does. Because, you know, but like Sonic 2 doesn't. I think, and I keep saying it because it makes it sound like I don't like Sonic 2. I really did like Sonic 2. And the other thing is I liked the first 4 episodes of Knuckles. The bits that I didn't like for Knuckles, right? Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of the play and Wade being Knuckles in the play, and then they're having that self-discovery bullshit. But at the same time, you don't need to, like, you don't need to always fucking, like, there's that whole showdown with him with the fucking bike scene and the dude. And don't get me wrong, I get it because it's meant to be like the character growth of Wade, and he's meant to become like a guardian of some kind. But it feels more like Knuckles feels more like the Knuckles and Wade show, because the first 4 episodes are kind of like, oh, Knuckles is there, right? But then the show kind of kind of baits you a little bit. By the time he gets to the 4th episode, you see Wade more often, and then there's this whole thing with Wade and his dad. And I will say, watching it again, I did notice that the reason why they showed a lot of the family aspect of Wade's family is because Knuckles is missing his family. And they show that element because they're obviously trying to teach, like, Knuckles is trying to learn customs because he's tribal, right? So he's like, they're learning about the Jewish customs and all that shit, and like why they have the Passover and all that stuff, and fucking, he's learning the scene. And I kind of appreciated it because I was like, okay, I get it. Like, they're trying to teach Knuckles, like, this is my tribe. You know, that kind of aspect. But yeah, the bits, and again, don't get me wrong, I love the actor. I love the actor who plays Wade. It's just that little bits is just a little bit too much of the padding bit. But I'll wait for the Blu-ray. Yeah. Sonic 3 Teacher's Revenge. Yeah. Sonic 3 different from Sonic. Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Yeah. They take their own liberty with it, but in a good way. They tell the story, but in a way that's more, and it's funny because now that I've watched it again, like, I've watched that movie like 4 times now. I've picked up on so many references I never picked up on before, like even really obscure ones where I was like, holy shit. So they really hid those the deep cuts really deep into that movie, where you'll see shit as a fan 4 watches in. No, that's just, but yeah, the Knuckles series is a very strange one. What I will say, I did like the bad guy. I liked that they went with the, you know the oh, what's his name? It's Michael Keaton. They have that whole thing in Avengers where Michael Keaton plays, I think he plays the Goblin or whatever. There's a I don't remember what he plays, Wing Dude or something. But basically, there's that cleanup crew that's cleaning up New York from the attack of the aliens from the first Avengers film, and it shows him like harvesting all of the bits of alien tech to make his own tech. The bad guy in Knuckles is literally that. He's just a tech dude that like has harvested and like stolen shit. But I will say, like, instantly when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Joe Robotnik, but it's not. He was just some dude who worked for Robotnik, which is really interesting because that also made me think, like, did he have a partner? Did he have more than one partner? Did he have, like, a room of partners? I don't know. It's a strange thing. Rouge is very necessary for the plot. It's, again, Bariko, if you go into it thinking it's going to be exactly like Sonic, it's not going to be that way. They're not going to have a car scene where they're like, Mr. President. What they're going to do is they're going to have scenes. Again, it's hard to explain, but they just do it right. It's like the Sonic movie universe. It's like they do it differently. They can't do everything. Like that's the thing that you've got to learn is they can't do everything, and to fit it within a 2-hour block is very difficult. So in order for them to do it, they need to cut things. I will say, the things that they do cut are kind of like, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. And like the way that they changed some of the introduction of things and they like made it different, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get the creative choice. If I was rewriting the story, that was probably what I would do. So they clearly thought about it, you know. Changing Amy. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah. Because it's like, and it's, you know what's funny? I've never fully watched Sonic X. That's another one I've got to do on the holidays. I've got to sit and watch Sonic X from start to finish. Because I've never finished that whole show. I've watched bits and pieces. And I know bits, obviously. I really want a release of Sonic Prime. They haven't still done that. I've got to see if... I know there's some bootleg versions going around, but I want a legit release of that. But I understand what you mean. They're replacing characters. And yeah, it's a strange... Yeah, it's an interesting one. Sonic X is probably a very similar instance where you feel like Sonic X would be definitely a good model for writing a movie. Because he interacts with humans so much in Sonic X. And Sonic X definitely feels like that they were like, that's Sonic Adventure 2. Like, that's the, you know, that's the sort of... Again, I know that there's different sagas. Like, I get it. I know there's different sagas. You know. But... yeah, I get it. I took the boat out with myself. Alright. I'm gonna swap to my third game. My third shooter. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. Oh, they be some crusty pins. Oh, look at that. Fantasy Zone. So the only time I ever play a Fantasy Zone, by the way, apologies for the fucking bizarre colors. I played this one when it was Master System. And I don't think I ever played the Mega Drive one unless it was emulated. And then, I played... Oh, I'm trying to think. And then I played Fantasy Zone The Maze. That's one. Which is it's like Pac-Man. And then they did like they did a re-release on the 3DS, which is really cool because they had like a bunch of like additional shit that you could do. Which was very interesting. They had like all this extra stuff. I don't know if I have Fantasy Zone 2. Do I have Fantasy Zone 2? I think I did get it recently. The new Dat Game video reminded me, you think people jacked off while staring at Meryl if you look hard enough at the chest. Oh, 100% Catfish. Like, I'll say this. I would think that with those moments, like, I did it. 100%. If I'm just going to openly admit it. There are some games, low poly enough, that I paused and I did that. Tell you what, just for you, I will do a DAP moment where I show that. I think I've got what I was gonna do. I was gonna film another one because I got another game I wanted to cover. I have to do I'm working on my next big one, my next big review, so I might do that during that time. I could record it. I'm just thinking, but it is another one of those ones where I was thinking about it and I was like, man, like I used to fucking like there was a game I know this is a lot of, you know, detail. I'm obviously trying to get into it, personal detail, but yeah, I was like, there was one game and I was like, oh my god. Oh, the one that really got me a lot was the music video from Ratchet and Clank of Courtney Gears. You know the evil robot chick? She fucking did it for me, man. Like, that music video, fucking every time. Broke my dick. Hang on. Let me check. Have I got the second Fantasy Zone? I do. I have Fantasy Zone 2. We should do that one night. I will do that one night. Because Fantasy Zone 2 is the only one I've never actually played, but I got it recently. It was the only one I was missing from the Master System. Fantasy Zone 2 is normally like a $400 game, and I got it for like $50. I had to get a new case for it though, so. But I really like Fantasy Zone. I think Fantasy Zone's really fun. It's always my jive, this game. Though, this game, like, this version, in my personal opinion, ugly as fuck. Like, this game looks so ugly. It looks so ugly. Sold out, baby. Let's see, Fantasy Zone and use it. Yeah. Yep. The reason why I think this one's a little bit... Like, I mean, look at the colors, man. Like, it is hard to see. If you've ever played the Master System version, the Master System version is so much easier to see. This is just like... They really tried cramming the palette for this one. Don't get me wrong. It probably, like, this is probably a favorite for a lot of people. The completion, yeah, they are, yeah. Fuck. This is hard to look at. It is very hard to look at. You know what this is? You know when your dog ends up eating some leftovers and then it vomits? That's what this is. I was waiting for someone to say that. How the heck is this game on the Famicom? Oh no, it crashed! You cursed it! You cursed it when you said it. Okay, so I will tell you why. I did look this up. Fantasy Zone. So this is this is on Famicom. Okay. Was there info on this? Because it's a Sunsoft release. So Sunsoft released it. So when they did the port, yeah, yeah. It's a strange one. If you look it up, it's very, it's not bootleg, no. It's Sunsoft. If you look up the cartridge, it's legit. I think they just published it differently. I don't think there's anything different with it. Unless I'm wrong. Let me reset it. Goddamn. These goddamn kids in my goddamn house. Oh. Chat, would you enter my fantasy zone if I let you? Would you enter my fantasy zone? I want an Opa plush. Holy shit, this cartridge is cursed, my dudes. What the fuck? Alright, let me try it again. Let's try it one more time. Clean the spunk out? You mean the Japanese spunk? Is that what you mean? You can't convince me this is legit. Do you want me to take a photo of the cartridge? You can Google it. Like, hang on, let me see. Because Fantasy Zone was released on multiple things. It's not like... let's see. TurboGrafx 16 had Fantasy Zone. Fucking... Yeah, so by Sega first. It was later ported. Blah, 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 blah. MSX. It was on the PC Engine. So it was on a few rivaling consoles. It may not be bootleg, but it's unlicensed. How is it unlicensed? Sunsoft licensed it. Hang on. All right, let me read this. Okay. All right, here we go. Fantasy Zone was ported to the Master System, MSX, Nintendo Entertainment System, and the X68000 and PC Engine, all with similar gameplay. For example, the Master System version lacks some features such as the radar that indicates the location of bases or gauges. The two different versions were released for the Famicom and the NES. The Japanese version, which is the one I'm playing now, was released in 1987, developed and published by Sunsoft. The American version was released in 1989, developed by Pixel and published unlicensed by Tengen. So this one is licensed. In 1977, Fantasy Zone was released in the Sega Ages, blah, blah, blah. Then Fantasy Zone was re-released for PlayStation 2. Yeah, like compilations. Yeah, compilations. So there you go. So this one is the licensed one. So the other one's unlicensed, apparently. The American version's unlicensed. So what does that mean? Does that mean that it's illegal then? Probably. It's fucking ugly to look at. Surreal. It is surreal, yeah. Because we were at that era where, like... Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When I first saw this game in Japan, I thought exactly what you thought. Because, one, the Famicom games, all the cartridges are very different over there. Like, they're all, like... You know how, like, Famicom cartridges, they all come in different shapes and sizes? I genuinely thought this was a bootleg. And I was like, Sunsoft? Fucking Sunsoft is a fucking Sega game. Fucking, obviously, there was a license thing or something. But you gotta think, like, Sega was, like, they had fucking Mario on, fucking, had Mario on, like, the CDI and shit. See, when I say unlicensed, I mean over here in the States. Okay, so that one probably was then. This one, I don't think so, though. I don't think necessarily, like, Nintendo would have been against this. If Sunsoft's a Japanese company. So I feel like that they wouldn't have had problems with it. Because it retained all the bosses. Yes, that is correct. You are correct on that. This one's meant to be more faithful in the boss department, that's for sure. Alright, is there a life in here? Yeah, extra ship. Bump. Bump, bump, bump. Bump, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bump. Bump, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bump. 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 Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Do you reckon, like, this is the kind of music, though, that you would hear at a Jewish, like, at a bar mitzvah? Don't you reckon? Like, when you're getting your schwitz done or whatever? Unless again, a different one. Oh, no, I know that 100%. Like, especially in the West and shit. In Japan, I guess that's probably why all the cartridges have a slightly different look to each other. But let's do that one. And I'm a huge, I'm not good at Fantasy Zone by any means, but I got this specifically because I'm a huge fan. I just suck at the games. I suck because I can't get really far. Like, they're hard. Games are hard, man. They're not really streamer worthy either. Like, this is like, you know, we were playing Parodius before, and then we were playing fucking Skykid. This, in my opinion, is the most intense out of all the games to play because there's so much going on the screen. So much going on. I'm gonna suck a big fat dick. gonna suck a chode. Suck a chode. But yeah, the greens in the background, it's like, you know what it is? 60s wallpaper. This is the kind of shit Austin Powers would have had in his toilet. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Points for having decent frame rate? Agreed, yeah. Fuck. This one also gets to the boss way quicker than the Master System version. This one just fades to the screen, whereas like the Master System version you've got to move more. Like a whole sub thing. The bosses are so hard though. Like this is ridiculous. I always found the bosses to be so hard. Fuck! Oh. Crispy. Crispy, boy. Can someone tell me my uptime? How long have I been, streaming? Only 2 hours? Really? Wow. That's fucking bullshit. I'm gonna stream more than that. I did start later though. I started an hour later. It's alright. We'll do a couple of extra games tonight. How about that? I did promise you guys we'd do Super Parodius. But before that, I could show you guys my other Fantasy Zone games. How about we do that? Would you guys like to see them? So the other ones I've got that we could play, we could do Fantasy Zone 1 and 2 on the Master System. And then we could do Fantasy Zone The Maze. Tengen Tetris has multiplayer. It does, yeah. So say, like, a lot of the unlicensed shit was interesting. Fuck! That's brutal. That's brutal, man. But you know what else is brutal? Today's sponsor. My ball sack. Oh, shit. I will say, like, the one thing I really don't like about the NES version is the colors. The colors, it's, like, so hard to see anything. Like, you can't see any bullets coming. Or at least the colors that are, the patterns and movements of everything is fucking spot on to the original. Like, the way they've animated all of the stuff. I thought they would go a lot jankier, but they've made it perfect. But yeah, it's very hard to see anything. This game is, I will say this game is quite ugly to look at. But when you think about it, for an alien planet and what it would look like with the colors and everything, with the green hills, I assume it's obviously meant to be green hills, then yeah. You thought I was going to say Raid Shadow Legends? No, because I don't want to give them... No, see, now I've done it now. I've put them in the algorithm. You tit! Alright, let me put on my other copies of Fantasy Zone. Would you guys like that? I think we should.